This one is what it's all about, Kyle. The prestige of the Valero Alamo Bowl. This is what we fight for. This is what UT fans have been yearning for well, since at least 2020. Texas to be back in the Alamo Bowl facing the Washington Huskies. Washington actually had a pretty good year. They have a pretty damn good quarterback. I don't know if many people have really been talking about him enough, but Penix Jr. has led one of the more dynamic passing attacks in the nation. And that's what the Longhorns are going to have to compete with. And this is going to be a big statement for Sark. This is your first bowl game. You look at his predecessor, for all the nasty things people have to say about Herman, 4-0 bowl games. Won a Sugar Bowl, won this Alamo Bowl 2 years prior to getting fired. It's not what you ultimately want as a program, but if you're going to be in a bowl game, you're going to have your players playing in a bowl game. You want to at least win said bowl game. Washington versus Texas. What are the biggest things you're going to really be looking for? We know there's a lot of people sitting out too, so that kind of changes the math a little.
Yeah, I'm not going to try and pretend to do like X's and O's matchup analysis because, again, so many people are sitting out of this bowl game. So it's difficult to put the exact numbers down. Obviously, Quinn Ewers is planning to play and Michael Penix is going to play. So like that's kind of a nice little start to the equation. Washington all season has been basically like a Big 12, an old school Big 12 team, which is we're going to score a lot of points and we're going to give up a shit ton of points also. Washington averaged 40 points per game this season, which is fourth in college football. They have the fourth ranked scoring offense in college football season. That is higher than TCU, who is in the college football playoff this year. Washington has the second ranked, they're second in yards per game in college football. They averaged over 520 yards per game this year. Like Washington is so much fun at moving the football down the field. So what I'm going to be watching for is the only reason I will watch any bowl game, which is give me a shit ton of points. And that will be the entertainment product because I'm not a big gambler. I will watch a bowl game if it's on TV, but I don't really have a TV in my apartment, so I'm not actively seeking out bowl games. So Texas and Washington will be one that I want to watch. I expect lots of points in all sorts of directions.
Looking at what the Huskies bring, obviously you mentioned the offense, which can pose a lot of problems for a defense that has had its share of like mental lapses during the course of multiple football games. They're very selective of where they want to show up, which spots they want to show up in against other premier offenses around college football. You look at how they perform against TCU. Hey, the game script went according to plan for how you would have normally beat TCU when they played that game. 17-10. You held one of the best offenses in the nation to 17 points. The problem is your offense only put up 10 points. You look at what they did against Alabama earlier in the year, dominating Alabama, honestly, holding them to 20 points overall. But if you go back and watch that game, the majority of the game, Alabama couldn't move the ball. We're talking about Bryce Young, probably this coming NFL draft's #1 overall pick. And the Texas Longhorns defense was able to hold him. West Virginia, they've had their moments throughout the year of being able to put up points. Oklahoma, I won't read too much into the shutout there because Oklahoma also had injuries at the quarterback position going into that matchup. But Texas in big games, a lot of more home games in particular, has shown up. You're playing in San Antonio. You're just an hour down the road. If you can tell yourself that's a home field advantage, I think, who knows, that might be good enough for Texas and their defensive players to have the right mentality going in. It's all going to come down to coaching for me with Sark and like how he's able to mentally prepare his players, because it's not the bowl game you want, but it's the bowl game you're in. How does he talk to a group of men, talk to a group of players and convince them that, you know, it's not the national championship, but you go out there, you win, you make the fan base very happy, you make the boosters very happy, and it sets up a positive mindset heading into next year. I think that should be kind of like the goals that Sark has when he looks at this. He should really look at this as a way to put his foot forward in the right direction towards next year's season, because you don't want to get embarrassed too. This is still going to be a televised game. There's still going to be a lot of people watching, a lot of people who are casual fans, a lot of people who don't really tune into every single Texas game, or when they tune into a Texas game, they're looking to make fun of said Longhorns after they lose, which we know how popular that is on YouTube. I say they have to treat this game seriously. Especially coming off the 5-7 year, coming off that year, you have to treat it seriously because 9-4. That sounds a lot better. That sounds a lot better than going 8-5 and losing your bowl game.
Yeah, and to your point, I will leave that to Sark to try and pretend to derive meaning from this game because, I mean, it is what it is. It's a bowl game. These bowl games have never had less value. That's not to mean they're not valuable at all. It's just they've never had less value than they do right now. So you can find meaning out of it. Plus, if you're playing, it might just be fun to play football one more time before you stop playing football for 9 months. And you started talking about the macro level points for Texas football, which I said at the start of the year, and I've stuck with it through and through. If they go 8-4, and if they make the Alamo Bowl, or if they make the Texas Bowl, which I think is the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl, or whatever the 4th place game for the Big 12 is, like, if you told me at the start of the year they win 8 games in the regular season and they make the Alamo Bowl, that is hitting expectations for Texas. That is a successful season in year 2. Given where the program was last year, losing to Kansas at home, missing a bowl game. And by the way, almost beating Alabama. Like, Texas, this is a successful season for Texas. It's not we're now all of a sudden looking like Tennessee and we went 10-2 and we think we can make the play. It's not that. It's still an incredibly successful season for getting back to the place that you want to go, which is by year 3, having one game for a chance to make the Sugar Bowl, making the Big 12 championship. Like, that's a realistic goal by year 3. So win or lose this game, this season is already a success for Texas.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going with Texas. Kyle, where are you going?
I'm going with Washington to win this game, and I'm doing this. I was about to say, as I talked about in our 40 for 40 bowl preview, I'm just doing it to be a dick. Like, I'm just picking Washington to be a dick. But yeah, I think Washington's going to win. They may play in the Pac-12, but they are 10-2. So I'll take Washington to win.
All right, let's beat that soft Pac-12 team. Anyway, guys, let us know in the comments section below which direction you're going with the Valero Alamo Bowl. Are you going with Texas? Or are you going with Washington? Have you got a chance to check out our other bowl predictions? We got them all in a video somewhere around here. Check the channel for that. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment below your thoughts. Stay safe, happy, and healthy. From Juju and Kyle. We'll see you next time.